Right, day 17. So moving into cloud, Elf Leaks. In a move to taunt the best festival company, Grinch Enterprises sends out an email to the entire company with everyone's name and date of birth. McSkiddy looks quite stressed with the breach and thinks about the potential legal consequences. She talks to McInfra to try and determine the origin of the breach. Check out Neil Bridges' walkthrough. No, we won't do that. Maybe if I get stuck. Shadow IT. Sometimes business units go around corporate IT, procurement, legal, security when they need to get the job done quickly. This leads to security teams not knowing what they need to protect and systems not built into IT or security standards. Public cloud is an easy way for business units to engage in shadow IT, and the most accessible public cloud to get started with is AWS. What are the differences between the two images? What if we inspect, but one's hosted somewhere totally different. Yeah, one's on TryHackMe, the other's on Amazon. So you got S3, Amazon North. It says it there. One is an external link from an Amazon bucket. You'll need to start your attack the box to run the commands using AWS CLI for today's lesson. Your target will be AWS account with some resources hosted by TryHackMe. If you're on the TryHackMe free plan, the attack box does not have internet access and cannot reach AWS. You'll need to install curl and AWS CLI on your own machine in order to complete the challenge. That's what we're doing anyway. Instructions for installing AWS CLI are here, so we've actually got to do that. Today's learning outcome. Today we'll be covering the basics of AWS, one of the leading public cloud providers, and two of its most common services, Amazon S3, the simple storage service, and AWS IAM, the identity and access management. We'll show you how to get started with the AWS CLI, then describe how to discover public S3 buckets, look at what's in them, and also look at how you could leverage an IAM access key and secret. Alright, well let's install this. So on Linux, we've got a nice curl command. Let's just blindly run curl commands. What's the worst that could happen? Optional, verify the integrity. Yeah, I trust them. So at least they give you a PGP key. So what are we doing with it? Verify the signature is passing. I'm not that bothered. So unzip it and then run it. Be a good infection vector, wouldn't it? Just infect this installation. You can now run user local bin AWS. Local bin AWS. So we've got the latest one. So what does this let us do? You can install without sudo, that's fine. Confirm it works by running, okay, yeah, so we've got that. Not going to validate it. So we should be able to run everything. Let's see a bit. Right, Amazon AWS is a public cloud service provider. As of their most recent financial disclosures, AWS accounts for the bulk of Amazon's profit. Most major enterprises leverage AWS in some form or another for compute services, big data or machine learning, data archive, video streaming, IoT. Yeah, it's quite extensive. The number of services AWS supports is so vast that we can barely fit it in the screenshot. Yeah, I've got to scroll down to get it in anyway. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Your eyes don't deceive you. You can access robots, blockchain, satellites, quantum computing from AWS. AWS divides its infrastructure into regions, most independent clusters of data centers within each region of availability zones, AZ. Each AZ in a region leverages separate power grids and usually are located in different floodplains. This redundancy allows you to establish highly resilient architectures to withstand significant weather or geological events, or more frequently hardware or facility failures. Because regions are independent, you'll get different answers to questions depending on the region that you're querying. You can specify a region with the -- region option in the AWS CLI. You can access AWS via the AWS console, CLI, API, or associated SDK. Right, so the S3 bucket. S3 is their hosted object storage service. Objects are stored in buckets to highly simplify the concept of object storage. Buckets are key value stores, the object key being the full path name for a file, and the value being the contents of the file. S3 is a publicly hosted service. It doesn't exist behind a corporate firewall, making it convenient for hosting public content. AWS has an entire feature set around hosting a website in S3. S3 buckets use a global namespace. Only one AWS customer can create a bucket named Best Festival Company Images. Okay. Amazon S3 is used for more than public hosting. It has many uses of data archive, video processing, regulatory record retention. The challenge for Best Festival Company, like any enterprise using S3, is that sometimes data gets mixed up and data that shouldn't be public gets made public. Discovering the bucket names. There are many ways to discover the names of buckets. One of the easiest ways is when a company embeds content hosted in S3 on their website. Images, PDFs can all be hosted cheaply in S3. The link looks like this. So you have your S3 bucket name, .s3 Amazon AWS.com, and then the file name. Or it will look like S3 Amazon AWS.com, then the bucket name. In both cases, it's easy to identify the name of the bucket because it's literally plain text. Robot, blockchain, satellite, quantum computing. Now that's something. Yeah, they've got like GPU clusters as well. If you want to like run Hashcat in them, if you don't have a whole rig of 3080s running around. So if you want to list the contents of the bucket, Amazon S3 is one of the older services. It's so old it has two different methods to access bucket policies and S3 ACLs. Let's read that. This leads to great confusion for developers who must manage policies, ACLs, and the difference between any user and authenticated users. That's another document to read. Many buckets that contain public information allow you to list the contents of the bucket. In your attack box, try running the command curl. So if we run so it's just going to spit it out. This is a massive pile of XML is a listing of the IRS form filings for tax-exempt corporations. AWS makes this data available as a public data set. Mentally parsing XML contains no line breaks isn't your cup of tea. AWS also provides the ability to list the contents of the bucket. You'll probably want to hit Control-C after a few seconds, as there's a lot of US non-profit orgs. So it's the same request, pretty much. I can get rid of that one. So the same request, but this time they do... Oh no, it's not the same request, I'm talking complete shit. So they do AWS, so that's the command, the program we downloaded, the CLI. S3 ls s3 /irs form 990 - no sign request. That passes it a bit more nicely for you. Let's go side by side. So my camera's not in the way of the console. There we go. Right, many buckets contain personal information. We've seen that bit. The option no sign request allows you to perform the request data without being an AWS customer. So if we want to download objects, download an object from S3 is also easy. You can use the curl. So basically just like you'd say the XML file you want. Well, it's just like a link, so you just curl it. Or use the AWS CLI. How does that differ from that one? That just includes the file. Got it. No. I want to type all of the command in, not just part of it. And that's downloaded it. Cool. So we've got it there. Right, so different levels of authentication. In Amazon S3, object permissions are different from bucket permissions. So the contents have different permissions from the actual storage. Bucket permissions allow you to list the objects in the bucket, while the object permissions will enable you to download the object. In the case of the IRS form bucket, both the bucket and all objects in the bucket are publicly readable. That doesn't have to be the case, so objects can be readable while the bucket is not. Or the bucket can be publicly readable but the objects are not. You can also have public write permissions in a bucket. This is a bad idea as it has been a vector for many crypto mining incidents. There are also two levels of bucket and object. The first level is anyone. This is what you experience with the IRS form bucket. You could just hit the URL from your local browser. The second level is just as public, and that is public to any AWS customer. What AWS foolishly called authenticated users for many years. Oh yeah. So yeah, people looked at that thinking that that is someone authenticated to their bucket, and in fact it's all the buckets. Anyone with a credit card can create an AWS account, therefore authenticated users doesn't provide much data protection. So anyone, you can anonymously list the contents of the bucket. And why has it gone off the screen? That's good. Right, there we go. Let's fit everything in. Cool, so you have the ability to download via curl, so this is full access, and then you can only get the list. You can only list the bucket with an active key. You can only download the object with an active key. So the AWS IAM, excluding a few older services like S3, all requests to AWS must be signed. This is typically done behind the scenes via the CLI or the various software development kits that AWS provides. The signing process leverages IAM access key. These access keys are one of primary ways in which the AWS account is compromised. So access keys consist of an ID and a secret. The access key IDs, is that linked? Well, it's clearly not an IDS, but whatever. Anyway, always begin with the letters AKIA. So I'm guessing that becomes a search string in itself. And they're 20 characters long. This acts as a username for the AWS API. Secret access key is 40 characters long. AWS generates both strings, however, AWS doesn't make the secret access key available to download after first generation. There is another type of credential, short-term credential. This is where an access key ID begins with the letters AS or Asia and includes additional string called the session token. When you find credentials to AWS, you can add them to your profile in the CLI. For this, use the command AWS configure profile name. This command will add the entries into the config file and credentials file in your home directory. Once you have configured a new profile with new access keys, you can execute any command using the other set of credentials, for example, to list all S3 buckets in the AWS account you've found credentials for. Try AWS S3 LS profile name. Never store a set of access keys in the default profile. Doing so forces you always to specify a profile and never accidentally run a command against an account you don't intend to. So it's a good idea to create multiple profiles then. A few other common AWS reconnaissance techniques are finding the account ID belonging to an access key. So you put in the access key and it will give you the account ID. Is that right? Well, I guess it just confirms if it's correct. Or more information potentially. Determining the username the access key you're using belongs to. Okay, yes, okay, so you get more information associated with a key, the actual user identity with a key, listing all EC2 instances running in an account. Listing all EC2 instances running in an account in a different region. So you specify region there. AWS ARN is their way of generating a unique identifier for all resources in the AWS cloud. It consists of multiple strings separated by colons. The format is ARN, AWS, service region, account ID, resource type, resource name. So challenges. Somehow the Grinch has managed to get hold of all the elves' names and email addresses. How could this have happened? Given the scope of the breach, McSkiddy believes someone in HR must be involved. You know that HR recently launched a new portal using WordPress. You also know that HR didn't request any infrastructure from IT to deploy the portal. Where is the portal hosted? Here's an image HR sent out announcing the new portal site. So, Actually, I guess we can just open it in a new tab. Is that option up there? Copy image location. So we know the bucket is that already. Probably on Facebook. So what is the name of the S3 bucket? So that is that based on the URL format. Yep. What is the message left in the flag.txt object from that bucket? So this one we're going to have to do a bucket search. So let's put that in. Just that. Actually, that was it. S3 images dot best festival.com. Maybe what have I done wrong? Just that. Right, let's go back up. What was the command structure? Oh, we need the no sign request as well. No? Alright. Many buckets contain public info. Just include the whole thing. Yeah, cool. And then what was the one to print it nicely? So if I got curl to work, so I want the CLI one to work. S3 ls S3. So how do they define that? With just the bucket. So images. Best festival company.com. Then dot dash dash no sign request. I think I missed the dot out. There we go. Cool. Got the right syntax that time. How is that different to what I did earlier? CP. Oh, I missed the ls off. I did CP instead of ls. Right, yeah. Cool, so we can list out the content. So we want to get the file name now. Let's curl it. So we want flag.txt. It's easy to get if your elves data when you leave it up. It's so easy to find. What other file in the bucket looks interesting? Backup looks pretty good. What else we got? Maybe like a key or something. That's probably the key. WordPress backup dot zip. Yeah. What is the AWS access key ID in the file? Let's download it and find out. Binary output can mess up the thing. Yeah, just download it. I'll just save it that way. Carl's going to have a funny 5 minutes. So we've got a WordPress backup with all the content. So one of these will have the thing in it. Let's extract it. So now I have an extract to folder. There's AWS press backup. Extract everything. So we've got all of this stuff here. So what is the AWS access key? Well, we know we can search for something. So I'm going to start with AKIA. Just to see if it's in like config or something. There we go. That's easy enough. What is the account ID that access key works for? This is where I need to do that lookup. So we do AWS STS get access key dash info dash access key ID. Unable to locate credentials. You can configure credential at AWS configure.
Thank you for the follow.
Thank you for the follow, Sick in the Mind. Quality username there. Configure the access key ID. What's the secret access key? So you actually have to enroll them to be able to do the lookups. I mean, that makes sense. Default region name US-East-1. Just use the one that they specified. Output format, I don't care. Cool, okay, that worked. So ID, copy it correctly. What's that? What is the username for the access key? So determining the username, AWS, STS, get caller, identity, profile, profile name. Where'd you get profile name, or is that just that? Yeah, that didn't work. So how do I find the profile name? Quick tip, they give you the syntax to create an alternate profile so you don't overwrite your own profile, which is good for validating anonymous reads to buckets you haven't been granted permissions to. Cool. Yeah, I thought I'd just do the default one. Once you have configured the profile, oh, is it my one? So it'll be default because I didn't set one. Yeah, cool. So it uses the local configuration that you set up. Right, so questions. What is the username? Nope. Oh, it's this bit. Elf. Copy. No, yeah, copy email address. elfmukhr@bfc.com. There is an EC2 instance in the account under the tags. What is the name of the instance? What is the database password stored in the secrets manager? So if we want all the instances for that account, so we'll be wanting either of those two. AWS EC2 describe instances. File, no, output text. So I think that'll print better if I a bit wider. So what the hell does that mean? Under the tags, what was the name of the instance? So tags, stack ID, instance. HR portal, copy selection. Yeah. What is the password? So how do we get the secrets manager? Got listed here. AWS CLI secrets manager. Want to get secrets, list secrets. That's easy enough. AWS secrets manager list secrets. So then what is the password database? Let's see. Or is that just the portal secret? So you need to get another instance for the password, I guess. Personally, I like the JSON view output to JQ. How do I do that? Just pipe it to JQ. Okay. I've lost my history on it. I think this is screwed up. Let's get another one. Oh, I don't even have JQ installed. Your shell is angry. Yeah, it broke. So, where's my instance list? Yeah, describe instances. Converts it to a text blob. W/output text. Password. How do I get the database password? That's the. not going to be an instance. Cloud formation. Portal DB secret. Oh, so that was it. That was listed up here, wasn't it? I think I saw that. The arms, get the unique identifier. So just false secret. So. Right. The top arm line. This bit. Oh, okay, so it's listed there. Right. Just that bit. Let's read that again. So we want like output shows the following. You want like the value of it though, don't you? Get secret value. So new tab. AWS Secrets Manager. Get secret value. Secret ID. Got to figure out what the ID is. So it falls to AWS current. Following example shows how to retrieve the secret string value from the version of the secret that has AWS previous staging label attached. If you want to retrieve the current version of the secret, then you can omit this version stage because it defaults to current. Right, but then what is that bit that I need? Just false stack name, logical ID. Try false secret. It's false secret. HR portal. No. Stack ready. HR password. Yeah, cool. So it's that bit, just the name. So on password secret string. The secret you're looking for is not in this region. Santa wants to have latency to his database. Have a look closer where he lives. Fuck. Alright, so I need to get another region passphrase. How do I change my region? Tab. Describe instances, output text. Region.
Boom! I'm Pickle Rick! Boom! Lick my butt! Yeah!
Let's go straight back.
Yeah!
Region. I don't know which region it's going to be, so I'm like. Just like randomly try different regions. It'd be nice if they gave you a list of regions as well. Oh, I don't want to enumerate all of these, it better be the first one. US East 2. That didn't do shit. Is that the one I had first there? I don't know. Let's do a couple of them. Nothing on West 1. Or actually, if you want one closer to home, it's going to be. Like, well, it's not a North Pole one, is there? Canada, maybe? Right. West. It's hanging up on this one. Could not connect. Oh, it's a U North 1, that's why. You're more patient than me. I copied the whole table to a text and looped it. Yeah, I can't be bothered. I mean, there's not that many. You get to see the outputs a bit more easily then as well. So I think you can comma delimit. Oh, really? Let's try it. I got like AP East 1. No, didn't like that. It's not able to provide access credentials. What was the one that worked? East 1. That still works. I don't understand why it says look closer where he lives. I've done like all the south ones. P south 1. You can write a small. Yeah, write a script for it. I need to brush up on my bash to do that, I think. I don't understand why some of them require like the extra auth. While read AWS region do cat it out. Oh, okay. What does this mean? The opt-in status? South. It's gonna be like one of some really obscure one. Probably London. I thought I did London. US too. Yeah, no. Ireland. Sweden. Oh, you can see them on a map. That's cool. Europe, Stockholm. So that one wasn't on the list. Which region is that one? That's why I type properly. New region in Stockholm. Do you want to give it its name? No. EU North 1. Only shows Stockholm. Didn't look like it like that one anyway. Let's go back to that map. What was there? Canada. Canada West we didn't do. Yeah, that one I've just made up. Canada West. Central. We might just have to do this as a sodding list again. Is that even the full amount? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Yeah, so there's like 5 missing. EC2, scribe, regions. All regions. You're not author of, for fuck's sake. As if the list regions command is like an authorization lock thing. That's just dumb. Yeah. Get a better list. I stepped away from it. Is it asking you to find EC2 instances in an? It's saying that the secret. So with the secret we found, told us to look for the secret in another region. But yeah, that's a ball ache by the look of it. Trying to find the right region. Maybe it's secrets. Yeah, true. We can just like spam the secrets thing. Secrets manager, other region. Same region context. So what you just reckon? Like just specify region there. I would have thought we'd have to list it out first there, because it like otherwise I'm just spamming all the regions again. It should be that one. If it's not that one, then they've missed a trick there. Unless they're thinking it's like South Pole. Regional services list. Yes, good. Give me a list. I'm going to start a gist after this and make a list of the sodding regions. East, done those. EU North one. No. Copy the table, you should space tab to limit the cells. This seems like massive overkill for a challenge. Alright, copy. We got like a CSV or something. You can just save it as is. Oh, I see, it's because they've got that listing on them, so if I want... You not just want a list like this though, like... Just got like a regex thing, right? Oh, I just use grep to do it. Let's leave it like that then. Save. Let's dump it in downloads. We'll call it regions. Grep. Let's copy your regex. So, it's 2 to 10. And pipe that to sort. Yeah. Beautiful. Cat. That. Just add a thing at the end of sort. Oh, does that do the output already? No such file. Yes, I want you to create one. Yeah, that's where I want it to go, isn't it? Doesn't like that either. Or does it dump it in root? No. Your regions txt is at the root. Should be. Oh, it's dumped it in there. Add a tilde before down. Let's just. Right, I don't know. Cool, so we got that. So we want. Where's my thing gone? So how do I loop this in pipe? Slightly darker in this room now. Let's put the light on. So while read regions .txt do we want I'll tell you what, it's just I definitely need to brush up on my bash.
Thank you for the follow.
Thank you for the follow, USD CBD21. It's got multi-line. Doesn't look like it. That's bad, multi-lane. Not a clue. Let's just install this because I know this does multi-line. Let's do that. Let's double check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, no, I can just count the one that I copied. Yeah, there's still only 25 regions. I don't know if that's right. Should have Sublime text there we go. It was US West 1, I think it was the correct. East, right. Now I want to run each of the lines.
Thank you for the follow.
Every line in region. Do. Just do. Pipe that into X-args. For variable and cat. Okay, that's what I was trying to Google out. We don't actually need the variable because I've like written it, so it just needs to cat straight out. Live for scripting. If this was Node, I'd be all over it. I don't do Bash at all anymore. You have to change mods. Plus X regions. Then you just /. It didn't work. Why not? We started it now. It's too late. Add the shebang. Oh, okay, yeah, it's got to be a Bash script. So, bin bash. No, it still didn't like it. What are you complaining about? Unknown options default profile. Oh, fucking idiot, there's a space. My bad. I'm just getting all the failures. Didn't connect to OV. Just found the one that was right. So which one was that? Pro. EU East. That's the one we already had. So. Weird. Yeah, I don't get that one. Let's see, what's the video? Might as well just figure out how someone else done it. Said you need the secrets manager secret. The one that we had was back here. That's what we found. It said the Santa you're looking for is not in this region. Yeah, not sure. Let's see how someone else did it. It's trip time.
Manager. Now, if you actually
Wow, that's laggy. Let's watch it in potato quality.
database password is, first thing I
Right, yeah, let's not do that. Let's do it on here. Alright, host machine for the win. Day 6.
Happy Advent of Cyber, day 17, everybody. My name is Neil Bridges from the Cyber. We can then run our AWS secrets manager, list secrets, and then we'll do it for the profile that we're in. So what we're asking him to do is we're asking AWS to use its secrets manager. We want to list all the secrets that are currently being stored for this particular profile that we're impersonating on AWS. Boom, just like that. Cool. We've got a list of
Yes, we got that bit.
are actually listed here. This is actually pretty awesome. Okay, cool. So we're looking at the ARN, we've got the name, which is the HR password. So this is basically a JSON return value that kind of indicates what's being stored inside the credential manager for this. One of the other things, so if we go back over here to our tutorial, and I'll kind of blow this up so you can see it. This is the retrieve your secret from AWS secrets. Given the secret, the HR password, and that's what's listed here in the secret string. Come back over here and we look and say, what is the database password stored in Secrets Manager? Well, the secret string is, oh no, the secret you're looking for is not in this region. Santa wants to have low latency to his databases. You need to look closer to where he lives. Tricky, tricky, tricky. So I wonder, what region should we use to try to figure out where Santa lives. Now, you can go to Amazon, you can search for all the AWS regions. You can definitely write a script that would allow you to iterate through all the regions.
Yeah, we did that and got nowhere.
One of the hints that, is kind of missing from this one is you notice that we've been able to use the -- profile to talk about this particular authentication. There is another --
listed
command
EC2,
that you
yeah.
can use to kind of help you through this as well. Now, again, you can kind of iterate through everything else if you really, really wanted to. You could iterate through all the regions, but in this particular case, we can just kind of shortcut it. We can use the -- region command here, and we can directly specify a particular region. In this case, we'll do EU North #1. And you can see the secret.
Motherfucker. Right. So, I was almost there. Where do we go? Get secret value, get secret value, HR password. EU North 1. Yeah. See your command above. Yeah, I know you said to do region. I just wasn't sure of the syntax. So. Alright, yeah, so we were doing this bit. So we should have done it on this bit. So then, if I modify, I'm going to do it that way that we were doing it, just so if we modify that command. So actually, it was none of this. We don't care about that bit. In fact, so now if we do it, I don't know where I got OV West from. That's so it found it there. Look. So it would have worked. We just needed to do the right command. That's good to know. So it's winter 2021, bang. Cool. Right, we got there with an assist from the AWS CLI is just an API helper. Right,